So we're going to look at our sit stay as part of our training today, and we're going to be looking at Ruby Roo's sit stay and teaching her. The way I teach a stay position is, rather than using an additional cue, I use a release cue with my dogs. So their understanding is that they have to sit until I tell them to get up. So that's what we're going to teach our puppies today. We're going to start by just looking at the sit, and then we're going to teach the release cue. So I just want to go through how I would train a sit to start with. So first of all, I'm just going to get Ruby's training mat out, because when this comes out she knows that we're in training mode. Although she does have a tendency to eat it as well, but we'll see. Ruby, up. So I'm going to ask her to sit by putting a treat in front of her nose, lowering her up and over her nose. Good. I'm going to mark when that bum goes down. Good girl. I'm going to give her another treat just to keep her there. And what I'm going to do is now I'm going to release her by throwing a treat to the side and saying, okay. Okay. So that's her cue to get up. So you'll notice I didn't have to use a stay or a weight. So I'm going to do that again. I'm going to lower her into a sit position. I'm not saying sit. Good. And okay. So until you've got a really good sit by lowering or with a hand signal, so I'm just going to use a hand signal now without treat in my hand. What are you doing? Sniffing. Good. And I'm going to feed, broad, so I mark the bum going down and okay to get up. So that time I used a hand signal with no food in the hand. So I'm going to try that again. Ruby Roo. Ruby Roo. Good. Nice job. Okay. So I delayed the release there for a couple of seconds just to get a bit more stability in the sit. Ruby Roo. Good. Feed, sit. Okay. So I released her. She started to get a bit fidgety, so I released her before she got up on her own, because you don't want them getting up on their own. You want to cue that release. So they anticipate that. So they're waiting for you to either tell them that they can get up, or you'll cue something else. You might cue her down from the sit, for instance. But they want them to learn that that sit means sit until you tell me to do something else. Ruby Roo. So I'm going to introduce the cue now. Sit. Good. So I say the verbal cue followed by the hand signal. Okay. Still marking and rewarding, but I'm not lowering it anymore. Ruby Roo. Sit. Good. Okay. So you can see she's starting to wait for that release cue. One more time before she gets bored, because that's kind of what she does. Because she's still a puppy, she's only 10 months old. This is something to remember when you're training at home when you're puppies. Don't do too much. Sit. Good. Okay. Good girl. Well done. Clever lady. So I'm going to take the mat up so you know that training's finished. Good girlie. Before she starts chewing it. So that's just a way of teaching a stay. You can use it in other positions like a down or a middle, or I also use a release cue when I call my dogs back and then I say, okay, you can go free. So teaching a release cue is really important for lots of other behaviours, and we use it a lot in agility as well. So just have a little practice of that. Do sort of 5 minutes and then give your puppy a break, and try and do a little bit 5 minutes every day, and you'll start getting a much more solid sit. Do it at home first, do it out in the garden, and then start taking it out and about with you. Because you'll need to train it all over again in lots of different places. So don't think that just because you've got a great sit at home, you can then go to the park and ask them to sit. It's not gonna happen. So you might have to go back to lowering it again, just using a hand signal. If your puppy's not sitting when you say sit, then scrap the verbal cue, go back to lowering it again. Because what you don't want to be doing is saying sit, 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 and your puppy's still not sitting, because they just don't understand. So just bear that in mind. Okay, see you soon.